Welcome to the Fearless in Becoming podcast. My first guest is Georgie Kennedy. She's a superstar, singer, presenter, and curve model. You're going to love her.
You won't bring me down.
Wow.
Big voice,
big
personality.
Big personality. Let's go.
I'm my first guest.
You are my first guest.
The person you turn into after you've experienced that is so valuable. You know what you can do? It keeps you motivated. I'm doing something.
It looks like you're disgusted, but you're not. You're in absolute awe.
No is a full sentence for that. I can forgive you for not being the person I need you to be because I don't think you can help it.
Are you ready, George?
I'm ready, love. I'm ready for your questions and interrogation.
I'm going to grill you.
Did you bring the light to shine in my eyes?
Tell me the truth.
It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man.
Hello and welcome.
Hello.
I have a guest, which I'm very excited about. This is Georgie.
Hello.
My co-presenter here at Roman, and we're actually doing a live show in a couple of hours.
This is weird because you usually just chat to me normally and now it's like really feels intense.
Well, this is the thing. Me and Georgie will regularly get in quite deep conversations.
Yeah, we do.
And I'll have a moment where I'm like, we need to record this. You've got such gold, such wisdom. And you've been in the entertainment industry. Georgie is a singer. She's a performer. She's been on cruise ships.
I have.
All about not rowing them.
I was on the dinghy at the back selling the drinks.
You're on your little bunk bed.
I was on a bunk bed. Top bunk. I got top bunk.
Don't let go, Jack. That's all I think of. Cruises are not for me.
I did not meet Jack Dawson on there.
Did you not?
Unfortunately not.
Have a little love affair?
No, I didn't. No.
Wasn't romantic. You're with the kids.
I was not with the kids.
Were you not?
I was kid free.
You went with the kids one time, didn't you?
That was on holiday.
Oh,
No. When I worked there, I wouldn't take. No, I didn't have kids then. I was young, free, single, and yeah.
Oh, the days.
About 5 stone light.
So Georgie's got 2 kids, haven't you?
I do. I've got 2 kids, a little boy and a little girl, and I'm a wife. I've got a lovely husband, and he's great. And what else am I? A daughter, sister, auntie, friend. What else am I?
It's a lot, isn't it?
Juggler. Juggler of all things.
So, the aim of this podcast, Fearless in Becoming, is about chatting to you about what kind of fears have you had to overcome in order to get where you are.
Okay.
But initially, I would just like you to explain where you are at the moment, what you do.
Okay.
And who are you? Because we don't have a clue who she is.
Oh my goodness. Get your notepads out, guys. Start taking notes. I am Georgina. Most of my family, hello darling.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Everyone calls me the Georgie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm a mum, wife, auntie, sister, daughter-in-law, daughter, friend, confidant.
Co-presenter.
How'd
you pay the bills?
Curve model.
What makes the cash, Georgie, in your life?
Well,
and you're rolling it out.
How many people are going to see this? No. I am a full-time singer, and I am a presenter with you and the girls, and I kind of dabbling in a bit of curve modelling this year as well.
Yes.
And yeah, that's sort of my main thing.
Singing.
Yeah.
Presenting.
Yeah.
Modelling.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one.
Singing.
Georgie is a fabulous singer.
Sorry, Roman. But yeah.
But yeah, my live show starts very soon, and I'm really happy to be here. I still want my job.
No, do you know what? It would be cool to do singing with presenting at the same time, because I kind of do that anyway with singing. Presenting is within singing. So
it is actually. It is.
So I'm going to say singing because then I get to do both.
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah. When you were little, did you always want to be a singer?
No.
What did you want to do?
So when I was in sort of like the beginnings of high school, if you like, I wanted to be a primary school teacher.
Oh,
I know.
She'd make a great primary school teacher.
Do you think?
Yeah, you would.
Little girls.
You would.
I wanted to be like Miss Honey off Matilda. But then as I got a bit older, I joined sort of performing arts college, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna I'm going to be in the West End, man. Like, that's what I wanted to do.
So was there a defining moment?
And then, well, I thought I better get a proper job. Because
They say that, don't they?
because in our industry, I know that sounds strange, but in our industry, it's, you know, we always feel lucky if you get to do it as a proper job, as a full, where you don't have to do anything else and you can do it full time. You always, at the back of your mind, always think, should I get a normal job? And I was going to go in the police.
Wow.
Really wanted to join the police, but I didn't speak Welsh, and where I grew up in Wales,
okay.
so that might have held me back a little bit.
Okay.
And also, I was really passionate about music.
So did you see someone perform and be like, I want to be like her?
Yeah, Barbra Streisand.
Oh, yes.
Loved Barbra Streisand growing up. I loved Whitney, Celine Dion, Aretha Franklin.
I'm with you.
All the big belty singers.
I'm with you. And
Even Michael Jackson and like
Yes.
Prince, and like I used to watch them perform, and I was like, wow, you
Own
are
the stage.
next level. Yeah, and it used to give me goosebumps. Like nothing else ever filled me with joy like watching talented people perform.
Yes. So you were like, for me as well,
Yeah.
being a singer, when it makes you feel a certain way, you think to yourself, I want to make other people feel like that.
It's the muso face.
Yes.
If you get the muso
The
face,
dirt face of
it's you're doing something.
It looks like you're disgusted, but you're not. You're in absolute awe.
I think only people really who are in music or entertainment probably get that. I think if you looked at anybody, you've got it down to a T. I think you've obviously met a lot of talented people.
I have. Just looking at you, John, I'm like,
If you get that look when you're performing from somebody, yeah, it's like a little buzz it gives you. You're like, oh yeah, I nailed that, smashed it.
So you started in the cruise ships when you were a singer. Was that the first?
No, oh my goodness, my first ever job was at. Am I allowed to mention names?
It's up to you.
Okay, it was like a UK hotel brand for adults.
Okay.
I think there's only one.
Adults. That sounds questionable. What did you mean, Georgie?
No, not like that. It wasn't like a swingers hotel. No, it wasn't. It's an adult only, so there's no kids, so it's not like a holiday park, but it's like nice sort of luxury hotels in the UK. And my first ever job was there. I went for my audition. I was 17, and I got it. And I was probably really rubbish, to be fair, but I might have thought I was good. Big fish in a small pond growing up in Wales. I went and I worked at this hotel with some really talented people. And yeah, it was hard because I'll be honest, I didn't really know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
And I grew up being a teenager as from sort of 15, people started going, Georgie's, because I wanted to be a dancer, Jose. I wanted to be a dancer, and then I saw a video of myself dancing, and it was so bad that I cried and said, why didn't you tell me that I was so bad at dancing? Because in Wales, they have this competition called the Eisteddfod, and I did a disco dancing competition. It was so bad.
Was it?
It was so bad. It was so bad. I'm sorry. Anybody who watched that, any parents out there that got...
I do apologise.
Yeah, I do apologise. I did it too. Another one bites the dust.
Queen!
So everyone else was doing it to like 90s bangers.
Only George. I bet you're incredible. Passion over perfection every day.
Another one, but honestly.
So when you got into singing
just
did people start saying, Georgie, you're an amazing singer, and you thought, okay, I'm going to pursue this?
I think everyone thought I was probably a bit naff until I started singing a bit, and then I think everyone kind of went, oh, actually, it was John. It was my music teacher in year 9, and he was Mr. Roberts. If you're watching this podcast, which you totally should, you're awesome. He was the best music teacher ever.
They make a difference, don't they, those teachers?
And he went, why didn't you tell me you could sing? And he was very Welsh, and we played piano amazingly. And he made me sing in front of people. Because when I was at school, music and drama, I think it was kind of like a geeky thing to do. You didn't really want to tell people you were doing music, because not like now, the kids that are doing music and drama at school, they're really popular kids, you know. But when I was doing it, it was kind of like, you're a bit geeky. It was a bit niche. Yeah. And, you know, school's hard enough. Yeah. School's hard enough, and you try and navigate that. So, yeah, it wasn't until I was a bit older, sort of, I'd say 14, 15 onwards, that I was like, okay, I'm going to sing.
So 17.
Singing's my power, my superpower.
Yes, 17. You're like, singing's my superpower.
Yeah.
I'm owning this. This is the line I'm going to pursue. You're self-employed at this point. How did you get the cogs up and running? Because it's not easy being self-employed, especially in the entertainment industry.
Well, actually, I've only really been self-employed for the last sort of 10 years.
Okay.
Because I work for companies.
Yes.
So I was on payroll. Very lucky.
With the singing?
Yeah.
So who was this through? With the cruise ships, you were on a payroll?
Some of them, yeah.
Okay.
Some of them, but even if you were on there, it's contracted, so it's as and when.
Now, can I play dumb for a minute? Because I want to know, in case there's something... That look was
Sorry,
like
I
you
thought we'd
do
already
anyway.
I thought we'd already started that. I'm joking.
So, imagine there's somebody watching and they want to do what you're doing.
Okay.
And you kind of brush over and go, yeah, I was doing contracts, I was payroll, I just got it.
How'd you get into
How did you actually did you make phone calls? Did you knock doors? Did you get contacts? How did you make those contacts to do what you did being self-employed?
Okay, so it depends. How old are they watching? Give me an example. Who's watching?
14 years old.
14-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say you need to just perform everywhere you can and meet as many people as you can, because most of my work I have got over the years has been through people I know. So I worked in a bar at this adult-only hotel. There was a big adult-only hotel in Wales, and I worked in the coffee shop in the bar there. Yeah. Okay. And I was 17.
Yeah.
And I'd just learned to drive, and I used to watch their shows, and I remember drying glasses behind the bar, and I remember looking at them going, I could do that. Yeah. I'm a lot younger than them, but I could do that. I know I can do that.
So you started behind the scenes and watching and learning.
Yeah, I used to watch the shows, and I used to walk around singing to them, performing, because they do shows, and then I'd be collecting glasses. And and I said there was an entertainments manager there, and I went over to her and said, can I audition for you? I'll be honest, she didn't like me. She didn't like me. I think she
Why? What's her problem?
I think I was probably just some snotty teenager, 17, probably thinking, she probably thought, you know.
So how did you twist her arm? Give me the job.
Basically just endless, doing her head in. Can I audition? Can I audition?
And this is the thing, because I was listening to an interview with Simon Cowell.
Yeah, yeah.
And this was the defining moment in his career, is where he was pestering this other producer. Yeah. It's Sunita, isn't it? He had a song with Sunita, and he was pestering this guy. That interview. Pestering and pestering and pestering. He was just convinced that it was going to work. Yeah. And he was, he just didn't give up. So it sounds like you had the tenacity, the consistency, and you were bold enough to keep trying.
Do you know what it is, though? It's like when you're younger, you have you don't have the worries that you do now. I probably was more ballsy back then.
Come on.
I'd get on the train and go for an audition in London. I'm from North Wales. That's a hell of a journey.
Yes.
So I think, to be honest with you just don't know about life. Yeah. So you just don't care. So you put yourself out there when you're younger. Because, I did. I just went, I can do that. Let me audition. Without any care or thought to anything. Yeah. And anyway, she auditioned me and I got a job, but I got sent really far away.
Did you?
I got sent to Great Yarmouth, which was at the time an 8-hour journey from where I lived.
It's not always convenient. And I know with the stuff that you do, you've travelled up and down the country. Yeah. But then you get the contacts and you get to kind of, I'd say, a lucky, privileged position where you do get to choose where you're at. But it starts with being likeable. And like you said, those repeat jobs when people know you and they're like, right, let's get Georgie back again. That must be really important. Yes. And being self-employed, obviously, when you get these contacts and you get these jobs, it doesn't keep consistently ticking over. You have dry spots and high spots. How do you stay motivated when it is fluctuating so much? That
is so hard. So a good quote, right, is this too shall pass, right? Yeah. Because I do it now. So there's quiet times in the entertainment industry, right? We all know, all the girls at Roman, right? We are hustlers. We work so hard trying to get the work in. I don't know any performers that just sit back and, do you know what I mean?
You don't wait until things come to you.
It's so hard.
Have to chase.
It's so hard. And it's hard, it's really difficult. And I really admire everybody. And you've got to look after yourself. And I think it's okay if things are quiet, but you know, you've got to keep us. I think just to keep motivated, what I would say is when you know you can provide good quality product or service, and you know you can do that. So that takes a lot of experience and time. So I know I can walk into a venue now, and if they're looking for a certain type of entertainment, I've got no issue with sitting there saying, what do you need? And I can listen to them and go, right, okay, and work with them. I couldn't have done that at 17. No way. I'd have gone, I know these 3 songs.
So it's about you.
You know?
It's about you going in and serving what the client wants.
Yes, 100%.
Not just going, this is what I do, take it or leave it.
No. You're not good. You're going to struggle filling your diary with that. You've got to be a little bit flexible. I mean, unless you're providing something, maybe that's got so much it's been going a long time. I know certain acts that have been going a long time and they've stuck to the same act and they've polished their act. But even so, I bet you they have adapted it as they've gone along. They would have had to. And they've got now this quality thing where they go, when we come, this is what we provide and this is this. But that's okay, because that comes with experience.
It's at the start. You have got to have that.
You can't come out of uni with no experience other than an open mic night and go and do somebody's wedding and say, this is what I do. You've got to listen to what they want. And also it comes with experience. I've done my first couple of weddings, say that I did, I would be so different to what I would do now. But that's okay. You learn. Do you know what I mean? And you can give advice that isn't even anything to do with what you do, but you go, just to let you know, for your photographer, if they need to go here and people go, oh, thank you, I didn't think of that, you know, or well, your food is served at this time, so it's probably not best I go on till this time because people will want to go to the bar to get a drink before, because you've done so many that you know how that evening's going to go more than the client does now. But there's a way of saying that rather than going, this is what you need to do. It's more of a case of, I'm here to help you. I've got this, relax. Your job, I think, well, my job is to make other people's lives easier. If you know what you can do, it keeps you motivated. It's when you feel lost. I don't know what to do. That's hard.
Would you say that you have a network of people that get you through as well? Because we were saying there's so much that has to come from you to encourage you, because sometimes we are our worst critic. So in terms of staying motivated, how much of it comes from you to yourself and how much of it comes from the exterior?
Oh, my husband, right? He is like, I don't know anyone else that would put up with my kind of like, oh, crisis moment, I need to get some more work in or whatever. This is a quiet month. He's very good at just going, he's very good at compartmentalizing everything. Your husband's the same as me.
Yes.
And he's good at just saying, it's okay, we've got this. And also I can lean on him. So he's like, it's okay. You got a quiet month? Enjoy the break. Because it's going to be really busy the next couple of months.
It's that perspective.
And
he has to trust you to know that you might be having a down season, but the good season's going to come. And when you're having a wobble, our husbands, they stabilise us.
So true. And also just with having children as well, like there's a lot of talented people that I know, talented women that I know.
Come on.
That are now working in jobs which are lovely, nice, normal jobs to have, but they've got this burning passion inside and this talent that they've been given. They were born with this amazing gift that they can't use because they've had children, and this job is antisocial hours. So having a support network around you is vital. Without that, it's near enough impossible to do. So I have a fantastic in-laws. Without my mother-in-law and father-in-law, I would not be able to do what I do, hands down, without them. Also, without my husband's support and without my support, he couldn't do what he does. So I kind of don't go overseas anymore because I can't, because I've got 2 little ones. I can't do it. Don't get me wrong, I get offered all the time, but I can't take that work and I can't take the longevity of work that I would love to do with these amazing musicians and things because it takes away from my children. They are priority. And they're only little for such a short time. So, but my husband does go away and he gets to go abroad and do all these different things and work away, but that's okay because I'm home. So it's a team effort. It's a team effort. And you know what? You can't have everything.
Okay, what about for those that aren't married, they don't have in-laws and they don't have a husband? How would you say to motivate yourself?
Okay, motivate yourself. Just know your worth. Know your talent. Learn your skill. You know, you're going to have the confidence to keep pushing through if you know your craft.
It's true.
That's the only way.
Very,
Think
very
about
true.
yourself. Just know your worth.
Mm-hmm.
Know your talent. Learn your skill. You know, you're going to have the confidence to keep pushing through if you know your craft.
It's true.
That's the only way.
Very,
Think
very
about
true.
yourself. Just know your worth.
Mm-hmm.
Know your talent. Learn your skill. You know, you're going to have the confidence to keep pushing through if you know your craft.
It's true.
That's the only way.
Very, very true. I think honing, knowing your worth is massive. And I think especially on social media, it's a massive world of highlights, and you see everything, what everybody else is doing, but never strive to be the second-hand version of somebody else. Be the first-hand version of who you are.
So true.
And owning who you are, your look, your feel, your sound, your genre.
And if you don't know what that is, because that can change as you get older, like what I thought was my style maybe 10, 20 years ago isn't my style now.
Yeah.
And it might not be in the next 5 to 10 years. I might completely change everything. Yeah. That's okay. Just as long as you've got a plan. I think to have your basic skill and knowledge there is the main thing.
Yeah. And give yourself a little bit of grace, because we are human. Yeah. And especially when you're self-employed and you're pursuing this career, you have highs and you have lows, and you've got to get yourself back up again. So have you ever hit rock bottom? Yeah,
I've hit rock bottom. Probably like 10 years ago, that sort of time. But do you know what? If there's anybody watching that's going through if you're going, hi.
Oh, hello.
If you're going through a stage where you're thinking, this is the worst time of my life, it cannot get any worse, right? Let me tell you now, I wish someone had said this to me. Even though it's terrible and you don't deserve it and you shouldn't have to go through it, there's a reason why you are, and the person you turn into after you've experienced that is so valuable. It's worth millions. It's more valuable than anything. And even though you're being pushed into this mold that's really uncomfortable and you don't want to be in there, when you come out of that, you can cope with so much more, and you're a different person. You've got more empathy. You're just a better all-rounder, and you can spot things a mile off. You're like uber sensitive to stuff. And energy and people's intentions. Yes. I am a lot more. I'm nice and kind, Jose, as I think you know.
She's lovely.
I am less tolerant of people's BS
because you spot it a mile off.
Yeah, than I was, you know. Yeah. And I definitely used to run away from things. Yeah. So I used to, if I got scared or whatever, I'd kind of just go, oh no, I don't want to do that anymore, and I'd run away. Where now I will go, I don't want. I will tell you, this is the situation.
Yeah. And you're not a doormat, because there will be some young people that maybe they're 14, 15, 16s and they're thinking, I want to do this. They're starting off, but they're being treated like dirt.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I've got this client, they're paying me, but their attitude stinks, and I'm worth more than this. How long do you go? Like, you kind of put up with stuff.
Yeah.
But then you think, okay,
it's hard,
enough is enough.
It does kind of make you who you are. I think I feel like you can't, it's a tough one, that.
It is.
Because I think sometimes when you're young, you kind of do have to go through it. And I don't wish bad on anybody, but sometimes you have to meet all different types of people just because it will help you as you grow. But you don't have to be treated badly by anybody, but there's ways of dealing with it.
It's what you can
handle. That is a skill that will come with time. So you might not get it right first time. It might end up in an argument, or it might end up with the silent treatment, or whatever, however which way. But eventually, as you get older, you just kind of, and you've got more experience. I think you just kind of go, yeah, that isn't for me. Yeah. No is a full sentence. And it's taken me, I mean, I'm 35 now, I'll be 36 soon, and it's taken me my whole life to be able to go, no. And even now, Josie, when I say no to things, I afterwards I'm like, oh, was that the right thing? Oh, so believe me, even when you get older, it's hard. But I think if I'd have had these lessons younger, I probably would find it easier now. Because a lot of my, like, I think you've probably find it easier to say no more than I do, and you're younger than me. But that's because I don't know, you've obviously practiced that skill. It's a skill that you have to keep learning, and I'm still working on mine.
I think it's when you get to the point where you're doing something and it starts to affect your health, your mental health, your physical health,
and your intuition. Like if something feels weird, like if you get offered a job or someone says, oh, come with me, I can represent you, I can help you, I can do this, and something, they're saying all the right words, but something in your heart is going,
gut.
that feels weird, and I don't know why, but it feels weird. Go with your gut.
Yeah,
you're never wrong. I promise you that. My gut has never been wrong.
There you go.
And I get spiky vibes from people now. People that actually I have to love, be around, you know. But I'm quite good at keeping my distance and in a polite way.
You've got to have your own boundaries.
100%. Have your boundaries. You do not have to listen to anyone making your energy feel like it's electricity, like it's on spiky vibes. You don't have to listen to that. And I would say that to young people. Please listen to your gut instinct on stuff. And in a polite way, you can go, oh, thank you so much. It's not really for me right now. But I'll keep you in mind for the future, and I've got a different path that I'm wanting to take. And if they want to know what that is, but you don't feel comfortable telling them, just say, oh well, you'll find out soon, I'm still working on it. There's ways of wording things.
That's brilliant. And I think wording things is really key when you have got to say no, and you've got to politely do it, because they might recommend you to somewhere else. And the amount of times you hear the phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
So true.
And there's so many people that will recommend you for other jobs, because even if you did turn something down, you did it in a respectful way, because you respect them and they respect you. When you are in situations like that, or when you're like, it's going to be okay, what maybe motto, mantra, quote, what do you tell yourself in that moment when you've maybe had to turn something down that looked like a really good opportunity, but there was too much compromise and it didn't align with your values or your priorities?
Oh, that's a good one. One of my favourite mottos is "This too shall pass." Because that feeling of guilt, you don't have to dwell on it. No, you don't. My motto, I haven't really got a motto. I've got a saying, that I've said to a few people, because a while ago I had counselling, and it was the best thing I ever did, and it was one of the things I'd highly recommend it to everybody. I think it should be like going to the dentist. You should go and get it. It's just great, even if you don't feel down or depressed. It's good to go, because it's really good for your mind. I love it. Like, I think it's really big in America, isn't it? They're all, they do it, and I just feel like we should do it more in this country. But it's probably like a British thing that we just, oh, you're going through counselling, I'm dreadfully sorry about that. Whereas I think it should just be kind of, I went to do my weekly shop, went to see the counsellor, went and picked my car up, and then whatever, like, I feel like it should just be that normal. But
it shows a bit of intentionality that you are serious about improving yourself.
It is improving yourself. And it's like, so I remember saying, I don't understand why people act the way they do when their role is to be a nurturer, a loving person. Why do they act a certain way, and how do I stop feeling guilty and like it's my fault and that I have to change them to be better, because the way they're acting is so cruel. And I remember thinking that, and that could go for, like, it could be for agents, it could be for friends, it could be for family members. And I remember my counsellor said to me, she was brilliant, and she said, if you watched a race where a sprint was happening and somebody who had a big bandage on their leg was running, would you expect them to be as fast as everybody else? And I said, well, no, because they're injured. And she said, yeah. So why are you expecting somebody to be somebody they cannot be mentally? So because they haven't got it in them. They can't give you what you need. They just don't have it. It's sad, it's cruel. They should be able to, but they don't. And I thought, wow, it really flipped my mindset, because I was like, yeah, if I think of it more in that way, if I can forgive them. For that. I can forgive you for not being the person I need you to be, because I don't think you can help it. And it really, really made my mind like flip and go, instead of feeling like, why, just please, I need you to be this sort of person. Instead of feeling that way, I just kind of went, okay, you can't. So that's
let it go. You have to let it go. Drop your expectations.
Like Elsa.
Let it go.
That song, you listen to the lyrics, it's true.
It's amazing.
You can't hold it back anymore. Just gotta let it go.
So when you get given a no, or when somebody says something that you don't want to hear because they've maybe found somebody else for a role that you wanted, you don't take it personally. Or if you wanted them to do it in a certain way and it hurt you, you're accepting that different. You can't put those high expectations.
Maybe
on
they
other
couldn't
people.
word it as articulate as you could.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they said it in a way which hurt, and you thought, oh, that's a bit harsh. But maybe you just go, they couldn't word it any differently.
Yeah.
That's really not my problem. That's their problem,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to take it personally. Don't get me wrong. I really struggle with doing that, but I'm learning, and I'm trying. I do try my best, but
sometimes it just it's so much effort when you're going back and forth to somebody, trying to get them to change their mind, trying to get them to change who they are because of how it makes you feel.
You can only control you.
Yeah.
You can't control other people, and lots of people try to control people, you know, and you just can't. And I pick up on I'm really sensitive to energy. So if somebody's upset in a room but they're being moody, I'm not good with moodiness. I don't really do moody. And if someone's a bit moody in a room, I'm hypersensitive to it. Yeah. And I'm like, how can I help you and fix you?
What can I do?
And what you kind of need to do, it's all very, you can still be polite, but you don't need to fix everything. And actually, even I think if you've grown up in a sensitive environment, you're more sensitive to that, to being the fixer. But you can't. And sometimes, as I've got older, I'm probably a bit more blunt. You can't fix it. Yeah. And sometimes that's like a stab in the heart. But it's true. Yeah. You can't. You can only control how you. So if that's making you uncomfortable, take yourself out of it. Go and be with people that I've got lists of people that I love to be around, no matter what's going on. They could have the worst day ever, but you know, when they see you, they're the same people. They don't have moods. They're just the same. I love those people. And it's just great. And they don't bring the drama to the table. And I love that. And that's, surround yourself by those like genuine, you ever met someone and you've just met them, but you're like, wow, I love you. I literally am going to be your best friend. And I've only met you for 5 minutes because we're just so, it's like your energies just match. Those are the people you need to surround yourself with. I think if you're surrounded by people that aren't like that over a long period of time, it's very draining. Yeah. And you're just emptying your tank. Yep. So surround yourself by good people.
I know
they're everywhere. There's good people everywhere.
Have you always been like that, or would you say you've got any regrets from the past when maybe you did have a bad attitude and you were like, Georgie, sort your life out?
Yeah. Oh my God, I've probably been a right pain in the arse over the years. Like genuinely, probably have, but hasn't everyone? Yeah. I know that I could probably meet people from the past that I might have known 10, 15 years ago, maybe more, and I'm a totally different person. They probably wouldn't recognise me now. I'm different in every way and a much better person. But also, little Georgie didn't have those skills that I've got now. And I had to go through a lot of stuff to get to the point where I can deal with stuff now. And I think that goes for everybody. It's not just me, it's like everybody. But yeah, I didn't just, you know, not everyone's has it easy, you know, and sometimes, but don't worry if you haven't. I feel like if you haven't, you're getting squashed into this mold to come out as such a better person than you could imagine. Yeah, like you have to look at it like that for your own sanity. I know that I love being a mum, and I'm a good mum because of the things I've done and seen and the people I've met. And yeah, if I could go back, there's probably situations I might have handled slightly differently. We could all say that. But I think it had to happen that way for me to be the person I am now. So I don't necessarily have regrets. The only thing I would love to go back and do is speak to my grandparents a bit more and get their views on things. I'd love to like sort of do that, but hey, you know, you can't do that.
Such a lot of wisdom in the years.
Yeah. Talk to your grandparents, guys. They're important people.
Okay. Just to finish up, I've got a few more questions for you. Where would you say you see yourself in, say, 5-10 years? Doing anything different?
I love that question, Josie. Okay. Content.
Ooh.
Happy. My kids growing up to be sort of well-rounded little humans, and healthy. And that's it.
I love that.
That's it.
Would you say you feel like that now?
Kind of. I've still got some work to do for me.
Okay.
So I've still got some work to do. Still learning how to navigate emotions and things. And also, do you know what I'd really like to do, JC? Complete a degree.
Oh,
I never did uni.
We've got a sandwich man coming.
Maybe get a sandwich.
Get a sandwich. That would just sort everything out.
Yeah.
Every time we do a live show. Okay. Final question for you, Georgie, because this has been amazing. It's been so inspirational. And I am going to have you back. We're going to talk about more
body image.
We're going to talk about body image because we really do try and represent here at Roman different shapes and sizes and keep it inclusive. Okay. So we are going to talk on that because that is a massive topic in itself. So stay tuned because I'll have Georgie back.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'll interrogate you some more.
Oh,
So, last question.
Okay.
Down the barrel. What words of wisdom would you like to give our fearless in becoming listeners?
Is that where they tune out at that point?
No,
We'll listen to our words of wisdom. What's she going on about?
You've got words of, I mean, we've had them already in the last half an hour. But...
words of wisdom. Don't take advice from people whose lives you wouldn't want.
Very good. So it's about...
No further questions, you're on.
I love that. You have got to be quite intentional about your company and finding people that do what you do or that are where you want to be, hanging around with them. How did you get there? What did you... And that's what this podcast is about. There's so many people in the industry, whether they are self-employed or in the entertainment industry, that I want to talk to and find out how they got to where they are.
I'm looking forward to who you're going to be speaking to.
Yeah.
I'm your first guest, aren't
You are my first guest! And it's been amazing. You've given so much wisdom.
I've tried to be really vulnerable and honest. Do you think I have? You know, it's not good. I'm a Scorpio. This is hard for me.
I think we've scratched the surface, Georgie. You can never get sick of that laugh. Oh. Right, I'll have Georgie back another time. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing your story, your experiences, and all of that. And we'll see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Round two. I'm ready. Let's go. Bye.
Nobody wants to be the last to know. So make sure you subscribe, you like my videos so that you get those necessary notifications just when you need them.